Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Max Moreau, and with me is my co-host, Philip Wilson.
I'm back!
He is back from his brief stint in Cali. How was your trip?
It was good.
Good.
Saw family.
That's awesome.
It
How's
was
your
good.
family?
They were good.
All right, everyone's good. That's great.
But more importantly, I'm back.
Yes, more importantly, he is back. Forever. I'm never going to let you leave again, Phil. You should have seen that Tuesday episode. It was ugly.
I did not see that Tuesday episode.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been very
No, that's fine. You were busy doing better things, I'm sure.
family stuff.
Yep, better things. All right, so let's look at what we've got. So on our last exciting episode, we did, I think this, what are all these things? Oh, I see some of these are from, so did we make it in height map generator? Is this where it was?
I'm gonna be honest
Yeah, this
with
looks
you.
like what we did.
I think I don't remember too much.
You don't remember too much.
I think I don't remember too much.
So we had this terrain generation thing, and we made it so that we can adjust it uses Perlin noise, and we can adjust the noise scale to get our nice little things going on here. Now we have a collision mesh right now that kind of sucks. It's being generated as well, but the problem with it is it's really low resolution mesh, and so at some point I'd like to clean that up a little bit. And the other thing that I'd like to get done today is somehow integrate this into our main level file. And so this may be a little tricky episode today, but from a code perspective. But
Yep.
I'm
Tricky.
Bear with me, and hopefully we'll get something interesting solved for this thing. So the biggest problem with our collision mesh is the fact that the way we're sampling the data is pretty basic, and it should line up at those.
You would think
vertex
that it
points.
should.
You would
Yeah,
think
I
it would
agree.
Line up at those vertex points,
And it doesn't seem to be. It's like it's taking an average of what's nearby it and placing that down. But that doesn't even make sense because of that one in the lower left there.
yeah.
Because if that was an average, it would have been higher up, theoretically.
It's hard to tell exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if that
what's
is the
going
case,
on.
because it's going down.
So this one looks really wrong. Like this one in
Yeah.
the corner here is just terrible. And yeah, there's just a lot of little.
So
problems here.
something is wrong. Something is wrong.
If I increase the resolution, does it start?
That's the
matching
wrong
up?
resolution.
I know. I wanted this one actually. That's the
Oh,
right
did
one
you?
that I wanted. Yeah. No, that doesn't solve that. And does it? If I make it less, does it come closer to it? Like if I make it exactly the same, does it actually look exactly the same? Probably. What is it? 7. 7. No, not 723. Just 7. Yeah, it
does
matches
look
perfectly
exactly
at
the
7.
same. That's interesting.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of fascinating that it's
We must be doing something
so different.
wrong. All right, let's look at what we're doing. We may also want to, so that we have better collision, we may end up splitting it out so it has multiple collision meshes. The reason we were lowering the polygon count is just so that we can have better collision detection because we're under the 255 vertex limit for collision. So
Was
let's
that
see,
for all
what are we
collision,
doing?
or is it for just concaved collision?
It's
Or
convex collision. Concave collision is really, really, really spotty, and we want to avoid it if at all possible. And right now, what we are generating is actually concave. So what we need to do at the end of this, like once we're actually done, the way that we make it convex without it being stupid is... oops, that's not what I wanted to raise. Noise scale. Basically, we need to make sure that the outside edge is always 0, even if that doesn't exactly match the terrain, and that way we can connect up the points at the bottom. So if we click on convex here, it actually does it for us, and you can see where we're already having trouble here because it's creating these convex lines over our terrain.
Oh.
So if we have them all at the lowest point, and then we connect things up, they won't intersect with what we're dealing with, and we'll have the added bonus of having an actual convex collider, which is more reliable and also cheaper on the collision system.
So we got 2 comments that says, "What are we using the terrain for?"
So what we're using the terrain for is we're going to have a castle on like a hill and a castle on a hill, and then you shoot at each other.
Yeah.
And I was also going to put some deformable terrain stuff in there, which probably won't change the gameplay terribly much, but might be fun to actually do.
Yeah.
Part of this is just because we can, and part of it is because I think it might add something to the game.
The other comment is that the collision mesh resolution is 7. I think that's a sampling error.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like, so let's see what we've got here. If we have the same frequency, does it work? Look, if we do 14, does that look any better? No, it doesn't.
No, it's...
See, theoretically, that should be...
identical.
No, it's not, because the point samples are in a different place, it looks like.
Yeah.
No, maybe, yes. Huh. I would have expected that green line to kind of match up with that blue line there.
But it probably matches up with one over here, actually. Oh,
top
sorry. Didn't mean
down.
to touch your screen. I get kind of...
And is there a way I can make it? There we go. See, I would expect these lines to match up precisely, but they don't.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I think that's our problem. So we would have expected 14, but we got 13.
Yep.
And we would have expected 7, but we got 6. So I think I have an off by 1. So let's go ahead and just make it 8 and 15 and see if that lines up. Okay, that does.
Those actually do line up.
Now, do they line up vertically, the way we'd expect on those points?
I have a feeling the answer is going to be no.
Okay, so that's a good thing. That's potentially a good thing, because it means that we can make this better than it currently is. Sometimes I'm excited when bugs happen.
Do any of the points match up?
Do any of the points
corners
match up in the corners? That one looks pretty close, although I don't think it's perfect.
Well, I'm saying the very corners of the map, so we know where it's functioning at if the noise actually adds
No,
up.
the corners definitely don't match.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
So let's see what we're doing. So... Alright. So we're doing all this magic that we found on a script in a package.
Magic.
But now we need to understand the magic so that we can fix it, which is always exciting. So that is less than width. Well, first of all, let's make it less than or equal to, at the very least, because I think that'll make it so that we don't have that off by 1. So now if I hit play, and we set the out of range exception, I already did something horrible. Okay, so the second one didn't like that at all. Oh no, the first one didn't like that. Okay, well, let's go back.
That's the nice part about doing this stuff. You can always go back.
Yes. Right times width, tangent. So I guess... Actually, I guess we could do it. Let's see. Let's actually fix it. Going back one more time. X equals, then Y equals, or all these extra equals, and then we make the actual vertices, tangents, and UVs to be +1.
Okay.
And +1.
And what is this going to do?
Although it might have to be +2. We'll find out. And then triangles is height -1 times width -1 times 6. I'm going to try just height times width. This is probably not going to actually work the first time, but array index is out of range. All right, let's try +2.
Still out of
All right,
range.
all right.
So what
I don't
part
care
of
about
the
any of
array
this.
is out of
I don't care
range?
about any of this. I'm not fixing it. All right. All right, now that we failed on that, let's see what else we can fail on. So, pixel height is per noise width times noise scale plus noise offset x. God, there's all this math. So x divided by the width times the noise scale plus the noise offset. And we do the same thing for... How are we actually generating the collision mesh? Alright, there we go. Actually generate mesh. Okay, we're using it twice here, that's right. So we use the mesh and the resolution and the collision mesh and the collision mesh resolution. So the only thing that changes is the resolution. So input resolution is the only thing that has changed. So let's look at where that's used. So that's used for width and height. And then it's not used for much else. So let's just see everywhere that width is used. So
I'm saying height in parens +1 times width in parens +1.
yeah, that might work. Go ahead and try that on your own. I just gave it 2 shots, and it's only going to fix a thing that's easily fixed by just adding 1 to our input values for right now. So I'm not too worried about it. I just thought it was something that I could quickly resolve.
I have a question
Sure
about
thing.
RPGs at some point. Are we ever going to tackle
we've considered
an
it
RPG?
several times.
Yeah.
People ask us about it all the time, and we will. It's just that it's
They
a lot
are
of work. And,
very, very involved.
And
very involved.
no matter what we do on it, it's not going to be enough. But that's the honest truth.
Yeah, unless we do like a lot of homework and
Well, yeah, a huge number of episodes, or start reading between the lines on something here.
yeah.
So, Perlin noise just takes an X position and a Y position. What we're doing is we're doing the percentage of X across times the noise scale plus noise offset X. Alright, so the noise offsets are basically our random generation stuff. And the noise scale, and right now we're not, like, if we don't adjust anything, I think that we don't actually even use the offsets. Let me save this to make sure that that actually is fixed now. Yay, okay, cool. We should probably stop printing 216 every frame too, but...
216, it's such a good number.
Alright, so... let's do this again. We're going to do noise scale of whatever...
The offset was just to change the noise. Just get a different sample.
Yeah, so if we do randomize, it gives us a random offset. And let's look at our collision mesh again. Yeah, it's just looking unhappy with us.
Yeah.
15 and 8. Is that the magic? All right. So this one should definitely have shared vertex point stuff. And I think that what I'm doing is I'm making some assumption about Perlin noise that isn't a good assumption to make. So...
Well, the question is, what's the assumption?
So width and height are what have changed here, which changes the... Which actually, I think we changed to that to fix the problem from being even more exaggerated. Because if we get rid of... Here, let's just try it not as percentage, just for fun. Let's just do X times noise scale and Y times noise scale. I think this is actually going to be worse.
Let's see.
Save, hit play. And 15 and 8. Times noise scale to something. Actually, I think we want it smaller or something on here. No. Okay, this makes it very ugly looking no matter what we do, but I think that's also because of our resolution. But yeah, no, that's. They're both off, so it's hard for me to even note which one's worse.
Yeah, I mean, the moment we start seeing similarities, then we'll know we're at least on the right track.
Order of operations doesn't particularly matter here, I don't think. But let's just give it a shot just in case it does. Let's do this. Alright, so if we hit play on this one, does this look worse or better? So we're going to increase the thingy, and we're going to do 15 and 8, so that we have a distribution that looks similar. Still not right.
Now over there in that back right corner, though, it looks actually fairly lined up.
Which, the very first vertex?
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me if that was lined up in every case, because that's the very first vertex. Let's go back to what we had. File, save. Let's look at what we've got here.
Because I don't know if that actually was lining up originally.
Well, we can find out right now. 15 and 8, and then 5 or something. I don't care. 10. Yeah, it's lined up.
It's still lined up?
Yeah. See?
Which one is it?
That one, right there.
It is.
It's the only one that's totally perfectly lined up.
Interesting.
I'm going to remove the offset just for right now, even though it should be 0 in both cases. I'm just curious if it makes any difference.
Well, it never hurts to try it.
I'm going to default these so that we don't have to change them each time now. So let's just do...
And, noise.
5 and 10. I'll do 10.
Sure.
Yeah, that actually made things worse because that one that we are supposed to have doesn't look like it lines up. But now it's the same. Now it lines up. It lines up. Just as hard to see. Alright. Didn't think that was going to make a difference, especially considering it defaults to 0. So percentage of width times noise scale.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Vector 3 scale.
Alright, so let's think about this. Let's put the numbers in. So let's think about this as we are going to our width of 14 / width of 7. And so when we get to, like at 0, they should be at the same position, like exactly the same. At 1, one's going to be at one position and another's going to be at another position. But that percentage should be, so at 1 for the collision should be the same percentage as 2 for the non-collision.
Okay.
And those percentages should be the same because the width would be double in one case.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, so say the width is, say the width is 14. And at 2, you'd have 2 divided by 14. And at 1, you'd have 1 divided by 7. And those should be the same. Right? Yeah, they would be.
Yes.
So why is this not working?
Well, is the purlin noise actually? It's not obviously not generating the same number on both of them for some reason.
I mean, it should always generate the same number if we give it the same numbers.
Yeah.
But it's not getting the exact same numbers somehow. Times noise scale. Maybe it's because of the noise scale in some way. It's got to be. Let's try doing this. Just in case this works. I am not holding my breath. I'm just trying it.
Just being a little bit more explicit.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling it a different order of operations, actually. But it's not even being explicit in this case, so...
What? Then nothing is going on. What happened to... Oh.
Okay, it changed the range that the noise scale works, but that's fine. We'll try that.
Well, that still didn't do it.
No.
I'm looking at purlin noise right now, so...
Alright, cool. I don't think the problem's with the purlin noise. I think
no,
the
I
problem
don't think
is
so
just
either.
how we're wrangling it.
Mm-hmm. So theoretically, it's just going on an XY coordinate basis. It should just be anywhere from 0 to 1 for the most part. It'll be getting the same purlin noise.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing differently between the two? We're actually calling a function, yeah? To generate both of these? I'm just asking for my own.
So this is the same function that's being called for both.
Okay.
And the only difference between them is the input resolution changes between the two calls.
Interesting.
Which affects the width and height variables.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So if the noise scale is 1, does it actually work even though it's not a very particularly interesting case? Actually, it does look like that's pretty close.
Does it?
It's almost impossible to actually tell, but... I don't know.
Yeah, we borked our noise scale.
Oh, wait. Is this still using the...
Yeah.
Save. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, so if I do noise scale of 1, does this match?
Not quite.
Not quite, but it's
See, it's a little bit
closer.
off.
That side looks really good.
But that side is a little off.
Yeah. It's all a little off.
Interesting.
Must be sampling this wrong somehow.
That's the only thing I can think of because it should be a consistent. Should.
Assuming the numbers are the same. Here, let's see if the numbers are the same. Let's just go ahead and print that. Debug.log. Debug.log. This is gonna slow it down real good.
It's gonna be amazing.
So we'll do x equals and then plus whatever this freaking equation evaluates to.
Yeah.
Whoops. Somehow I missed part of that. I missed the x part of that.
That happens sometimes.
So
Okay.
we'll just take this whole thing and do dot to string.
Are we gonna have
we'll
a Y
do
as
the
well?
Y as well. Y, and this should be the same thing, but with Y's and height. And Y. So hit save. And so this will be called. Oh, yeah,
It'll be
this
called
is-
every time.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a good comparison. Hold on. So
The Y should probably. Yeah. Wow, that's gonna call a lot.
all right, let's just do along one side. That'll be a little bit less college. And let's make this only run once so that we don't have to fight things. Void start. We'll do generate height map. And we will not do this here.
So then we will only call it once.
Yep. And so
Good call.
this will be better.
Theoretically, we could be calling the.
And let's
X,
somehow
the whole-
say what the resolution is. So we should do a debug log before we do our for loop.
The X won't ever get anything different, so you probably should put the X debug log inside the X loop.
I'm gonna leave it. I don't care. What matters is to get a couple comparison values. So resolution equals, and then we do plus input resolution dot to string. Save. Let's see what this does.
Let's look at that console.
Alright, so resolution 15, x0, y0, x10, y6, x7, etc.
Oh, interesting.
Alright, so now resolution 8 is x0, y0, x10, y2.5, 1.25. So this should correspond to the second set. So hold on, the first one should correspond to the first one. We should skip that one, 10, 1, 3, 3, 3. So we're doing...
Looks like we have a little bit of a discrepancy because 1.33 is 1.25.
Yeah.
So for some reason, there's a discrepancy.
Yeah, it's in our input variables, though, so that's good. So it is our stupidity. Now, if I did this at 1, I'm just curious if we still have these discrepancies. So, 0, 0, 1, okay, 0, 0, and then 1, 1, 3, 0.133. So, 0, 0, 1.125. So this is irrespective of the noise scale.
It's probably something that's looking at us right in the face. We just aren't seeing it. I'm going to look at the Perlin noise again, the functions that they have.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna do one more shot at that thing that I said I wasn't gonna fix earlier. With the suggestion, with what someone said, just in case it somehow fixes everything, just magically.
Do you like magic?
I do love magic. Not holding my breath though. So, with x, y, and so what we were gonna do is we were gonna do height plus 1 times width plus 1, I think was their suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do that for all three of these.
No, let's try it. What's the worst that's going to happen?
Worst that happens is it doesn't work, right? Not a big deal.
Correct. Yep. That's something to remember about code.
And
unless it's code that's keeping people alive somehow.
I will just do height times width on this one. We'll see if we have any problems now. So we hit play.
We're still gonna have our print log.
Yay! Okay. Well, looks different. That's weird.
It is kind of weird.
Also, really increased the collision. Oh wait, no, that was because. Okay, I know what that is. Never mind. Oh yeah, and it's not updating because we need to fix that again. Let me just get rid of our little start function and go back to generate every frame. So hit play, and we go to scene, and now we've got a little extra polygon thing that looks really wrong on the end there. Yeah, I'm thinking that we shouldn't be doing what I thought we should be doing there.
So, and then we have another suggestion is if one of our loops from 1 to n plus 1 instead of 0 to n.
In one of our loops
It doesn't look to be.
is one of our for loops from
Yeah.
1 to... Well, it wasn't. It is now. They both are now. But,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't like how that
indeed.
looked. Let me just undo things again.
What are we undoing?
All
Everything?
that stuff. No, not everything. Well, effectively everything, but all right. Well, today's been really good episode.
It's not over yet.
Dude, you came back from California. You're supposed to save me from this stuff. You're supposed to save me.
I can't save you from the maths.
You can't save me from the maths. No one can save us from the maths.
Maths are hard sometimes.
This is the simple stuff. This is like an offset. This is like child's play stuff, but I'm doing it wrong somehow.
Something is going terribly, terribly wrong. Unfortunately.
Size scale. Wait, what is this size scale garbage?
I'm kind of interested in that as well.
Size
UV
Y.
scale. What is size scale? Is that something that was in there originally and that we modified? Or that
we
didn't
want that.
modify?
We want that. That's fine. That's fine.
Do we?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And we already know that the values coming out of this is not exactly what we'd expect on the same period anyway. So we know where the problem is. I just don't know readily how to fix it. All right, on to something else because I've spent 30 minutes on something and not actually done anything. So
We did something.
well,
We grinded our gears.
We grinded our gears. Yeah, I'm sure that the people who are watching come here to just watch us grind gears. So let's look back at our level. So in our levels here, first of all, I'm going to create a new folder called levels we don't care about.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to put all these stupid things in here with the exception of our height map generator.
By the way, this does show something valuable, in my opinion.
Oh, what? Failing at something shows something valuable?
Because game development, you run into this kind of
No,
stuff.
I know. There's times when I spend weeks on a problem sometimes. So, and then it's something really stupid.
Of course, that's always what it is.
Well, not always. So sometimes it's like, oh wow, that was a lot of work, and I totally got it working. But sometimes, yeah, it's really really dumb. So I'm gonna put height map generator in scripts, and I'm gonna put our height map generator here in levels because we actually do care about this level. The other levels here came from the
that was
procedural generation
Yes.
folder, and they just had them on the root level. And so I just put them in some place that we can segregate them. Oh, something that changed in Unity 4.3. I want to mention it to people because I'm really excited about it. They silently, as far as I could tell, I couldn't find it in any of the release notes, but maybe I just missed it. At some point along the way, they made it so, and you'll dig this too, I'm pretty sure. In the editor settings, First of all, they added this concept of hidden metafiles. I typically change mine to visible, but that's just because I like being able to drag and drop things and have them work the way I expect them to, and so that means that the files are there. But honestly, either way works. But what's exciting is, in asset serialization mode, even if you are on basic, you can choose forced text here, which is awesome. And what this actually means is, when you have forced text, it means that all of your levels and all of your prefabs, instead of being... I'll actually show you. Instead of being a... I should have shown you beforehand. Instead of being binaries, they're actually text files.
Oh, no way.
And so that means that if you're using version control, you can actually perform merges on files, potentially.
That's awesome.
Now, it doesn't always merge perfectly, but... it's way better than not having it set to that. And so I recommend on any new project that you turn that on, especially if you're using version control. And that's super exciting that's on basic as well now. That was something that they had said that they released version control support for basic when they had turned it so that you could turn on metafiles. Mm-hmm. But they didn't enable this, and I always thought that it was I always thought it was unfortunate that they didn't actually enable the text-based scene files. But now they actually have, and so now I have no complaints about the way that they handle SVN on the basic version. That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that'll help you out if you're dealing with, especially if you're multiple people working on a level file. Now you don't have to just shoot yourself if two people make a whole lot of changes. No, I mean seriously,
I know.
It's horrible. To the point where we'd usually have like levels called like Max's test level 1, and then Justin's test level 1, and Phil's test level 1, and then you specifically ask, okay, can I modify the actual level 1? And then they're like, yeah, no, I'm not messing with it, and then you do it.
Yeah, basically everyone turn off level 1 because I'm going to use it.
So we're going to go into our actual level 1 now. And
now that we've said level 1
I'll go ahead and save the changes to the height map generator, whatever. And we're back to our thingy.
Oh yeah.
With the stuff. Yeah, you forgot what the game was.
It's the hot tamale game.
It's the hot tamale game. Yes, it's the fat hot tamale game. With the beating hot tamale that represents your castle heart. So
that's what it should be called.
Yeah. What was it called in Dungeon Keeper? Was it Fortress Heart? Dungeon Heart? Dungeon Heart, that's what it was.
Dungeon Heart seems good. I think this should be called Castle Heart.
Yes.
Or Wall Heart.
I think we called it Fortress Heart, so...
Okay, that works too.
Yeah, we have a game. Looks cool.
Alright, so let's get some stuff going on with this thing.
Alright, so we want to put these guys on a mountainscape. So, I'm going to go quickly back into the height map generator just to see... Actually, I'm just going to copy this thing. Copy. And then we'll put this into our level 1. We're just going to paste it right in there. And V, something like that. Alright. If we hit play, do we have, like, kind of a mountainscape? Yeah, it's there. Yay. Doesn't have a cool material. It's totally in the wrong place, but...
Yeah, we need to just move that around.
Alright, so,
where is it? Oh.
So, 0, 0, 0. So I'm going to move it 100 in the X. Sorry, negative 100 in the X. Hit play and see what this looks like. So we go to the scene.
It's a little bit too high.
Alright, so we'll move it back about... Yeah, that looks good. 50? Yeah, 50 looks really good.
Yeah, that seems good. Should move the Y coordinate down as well.
Oh, you think the Y needs to be down?
I do.
Yeah. What is the base of these things actually at? -5. So let's put that at -5 maybe.
Sure.
And let's make this actually look a little bit more like a mountainscape. We're not going to worry about the collision for right now.
We're just looking at
how this will kind of
mesh.
interact with our... We had a snowfall! Alright.
Yeah, we did. And it's still too high.
Alright, so... No, this is fine. This is fine.
Is it?
So what we're going to first do is we're going to need to make it so that these things go on whatever hillside that we're in. And so we can do that. If we had a proper collision matrix, we could actually use that. That was actually going to be one of my strategies.
Unfortunately,
could always pretend.
You can go to the land of make-believe.
Let's see what happens if we just have the same resolution collision mesh as the other thing, and we'll see if the engine can handle it for a raycast. I have my doubts that it will be able to handle it, but
let's see.
Let's give it a shot. So I'm just going to do this so that we have more res to work with here.
Wow,
that's killing our... Oh, I know part of the reason is because we're printing out a whole bunch of stupid numbers.
Yep, that is a lot of numbers.
And we're changing it every frame. So let's fix that real quick. We're going to go to scripts, height map generator. And so let's do this again. Let's actually... I don't know why I copied that, actually. Void start. Let's actually make this an option rather than... So we'll do this. And then in update, we will do something called public bool real time equals false.
Ooh, I like that.
So now if we do if real time, then we do all this stuff, and otherwise we just do the one at the top there.
That makes sense.
So we hit play. Our frame rate shouldn't be nearly as terrible. Yeah, that's much better. So it was just all generation that was the problem. Yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to perform a raycast downwards at the base position, but we want to actually have it be above the ground. So we have a couple options. We could either have like an object that represents where we're going to raycast from. We could offset it manually, or we could set these things up so that they're actually higher and then they raycast down from their positions. I think I'm going to actually do it that way.
Sounds good.
So player 1 base and the Fortress Heart and the player 2 base and the player 1 junk, player 2 junk.
That seems right.
What's in the junk? Oh, the cannon. Okay. So,
I think it's funny the cannon is junk.
So I'm just going to lift these up. Because if we change just a single value, it causes everything to go haywire. But if we just drag and move, here, I'll show you the problem. Like if we do y equals like 100, everything kind of becomes the same height. Because we just changed everything to 100.
Changing it all to 100.
So we don't want that. Oh, goodness. Why does it actually show a number there now? Okay.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. Let's just raise this up a ways. So now if we hit play, hopefully we'll have mountains that are underneath things. Yep, they're underneath it.
Which, that is absolutely the case. What about the cameras? The 2 cameras, they should have probably moved.
Oh, they should have as well. Undo. There we go. And get the cameras. Anything else we need?
I think that's it.
That is
the
actually
player 2 junk.
Oh, thank you. Alright. So we got these. No, that's
Why are
still.
the cameras still
camera
wrong?
is still not right on that. Oh, because I somehow screwed up the cameras at some point. There we go.
Aha.
So now we can do this. So we're gonna grab camera junk,
the other camera.
Now raise it up, hit play. Okay, we're looking over the tower. Yeah, this looks more like what you expect.
Yes.
Let's make sure that the terrain's not actually... Okay, cool. So we're above... So the terrain should never go in excess of 30 meters with our current settings, so this should be fine from wherever we're doing this. And so, from the base, we'll do a little... So, We need to move the base, player 1 junk.
Should we just create an object for all of them that's a parent? It's kind of funky, but...
No, it might be okay. Just want to make sure that's not going to break anything. Let's
Sure.
try it. So, create an empty game object. We're going to call this player 1.
And all the player 1 stuff.
And we'll do
goes in.
player 1 camera, player 1 junk, Fortress Heart 1.
Oh, should we send her the player 1 thing first?
Oh, yeah. Where should this be?
Probably on whatever player 1 is right now. Well, no, I don't...
So, player 1 base. You think it should be aligned with the player 1? Yeah, let's align it with the player 1 base.
That sounds like a good plan.
Alright. So, I'm going to copy component. We're going to paste component values. And then we're going to parent this stuff. And we don't want player 2 base. We just want Fortress Heart 1. That is the right one, right? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why did that happen?
Whoa!
Oh, I know why that happened.
Wait, what?
What do you mean, wait, what?
Why'd that happen?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to try it while it's not running to see if it fixes the problem, but I have my doubts that it's going to fix it, but let's try it. Create empty. Player 1. Is it actually already in the right place? It is. Cool. We put all this stuff into player 1. We hit play, and we'll see if the Dungeon Heart continues to freak the heck out. Oh, it might not. So if I go to player 1 base... Yeah, looks like everything's happy.
Oh, good.
It was just because I had changed it and reparented it, and it freaked out and didn't know what to do. It was so confused and scared.
Yeah, its parents changed all of a sudden.
Alright.
At least it wasn't an orphan.
So let's do the same thing over on the player 2. So we're going to create empty. Going to call it player 2. We're going to copy the player 2 base position, copy component, paste component values. Then we're going to throw player 2, player 2, player 2, and...
Player 2 heart. Fortress
get
heart.
the Fortress Heart in there.
Wait, why was
Why is the
Fortress
player
heart?
1 Fortress... So we don't know if this actually has fixed it. Okay. So we hit play. Now does it freak out? It's probably going to freak out. Yep, it freaked out.
So they both...
No, one of them freaked out. What?
But only one of them. Which one freaked out?
Okay, so it was the player 1 that freaked out, and it's because...
What?
Why are these values so different? Why does this have a scale on it? Oh, good lord, why did things like this happen?
That's terrifying.
Okay, I'm going to undo... What did we do?
I don't know, but I don't like the fact
Oh, I
that-
copied the transform. That's what I did. Okay.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So, wait, player 1, so this is all right now. Put this in here, I hit play. Does it freak out? Freaks out, doesn't it?
Nope.
Didn't freak out.
No, it's player 2 that was freaking out, I think.
No, it was player 1 that was freaking out. But it's not anymore, so that's good.
Yeah, the scale would definitely do that. Holy crap, yeah.
Alright. Alright, so
Now we
that's
can do the
happier.
player 2.
So now let's do player 2. Create an object. Player 2. Transforms inherit scale in Unity, and so if you have a scale on the root transform, it'll affect everything on the other transforms.
Yep.
So player 2 base. So wait, player 1 base. Does this have a scale to it? Yeah, it does. Okay.
Player 2 base probably does as well, doesn't it?
Wall spawner has a... That's weird. Okay, whatever. So player 2 base, we're gonna copy component. We're gonna paste component values, but then we're gonna remove the scaling, and then we're gonna throw all this stuff in, and this thing.
And now
We're gonna hit play, and everything's gonna be happy.
it is.
Everything's happy. Does the game still work? Can we still shoot things and have things happen?
That's a thing. It's
Looks
happening.
good. Looks good. Other players'
I
turn.
really dig
looks
those
good.
blocks. I think they look really cool.
Yeah, I think they look really cool too. All right, so now we're set up to do our raycast down finally. Jesus. Let's create a new script, and we're not even sure if this is going to work. Actually, let's find out.
Well, let's see.
We're going to do raycast drop is what I'm going to call it. You've had to do one of these before.
Raycasts?
Raycast drop?
Yeah, do you remember that little city thing that I made
exactly.
at one point?
I do remember the city thing that you made, and you
that
used
thing
that
was
to place
awesome.
things. Yeah.
I think I probably still have it somewhere.
You should do an episode on that sometime. Just show
that one was really
city
cool.
generation stuff. That was actually really cool what you had done there. So
I saw what I did there.
So public well actually we can make a lot of assumptions on this thing. I'm just going to have it just have no options to start.
I don't actually know if I have that anymore.
And so
let me see.
Raycast. Alright, so physics.raycast.
Oh, I do have it. I was scared there. I thought I just lost that.
Position vector 3.down. So that gives us our array. And then we need really nothing else except for the hit info. So origin, direction, hit info. So we can do out hit. And that auto-completed because it said you don't have a hit, but we're going to make one real quick. We're going to call it raycast hit. And so we'll do an if physics.raycast, then we go into our hit. So we change transform.position equals hit.point.
That thing was cool.
Oh, you found it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Too bad I can't get your screen on here as well.
Yeah, well, you know how that goes.
I could
sometimes.
grab my computer, rotate it towards your screen, and switch to video mode.
I'll have to look at this thing because it's probably giving me errors.
So in theory, what this is doing, this is a really simple script. We're declaring a hit because we need that for the information later, and then we're telling it to raycast from our current position downwards, and then give us the hit info on the output, and then finally we set our position to the hit point. In the case of a raycast, the direction you're going, it just goes forever unless you set it to something different for the distance, which we didn't set a distance, so it should be infinity or as close to infinity as we can have for programming. And so if we now drag this into player 1 and player 2 at the start, it should raycast down and drop theoretically. Now, it might not successfully do it because we might not be able to raycast against the collider, which it looks like we weren't able to. We can test to see if that's the case by creating something like a plane and moving it down a bit and making it gymongous.
Well, it was only 180 lines of code, whatever that was.
And then if we hit play, do these things actually drop onto it? So if we go to the scene,
what is that?
They have dropped onto it. So it does work, it's just that our collision geometry does not like being raycasted against because it is
too complex.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
Curious how they do. I should actually research into how they do the collisions on the terrain systems because they obviously have a system that works for them.
Yeah.
I'll add that to my to-do list for next episode. So yeah, they're raycasting down and not getting anything for some reason. Now let's actually test to see if that's the case. Let's make the collision geometry to the complexity that we expected it to need to be down to, and hit play and see if that fixes it. Probably still won't, but let's see. Nope, still didn't fix it. Let's try making it convex as well, which height map generator. mesh, get component.
There are no questions from the chat. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask.
Mesh collider call equals game object get component mesh collider. Wait, does this not have a mesh collider? That might be the problem too. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it does have a mesh collider. It somehow got one at some point. Do we make that for it? Like, what's?
Wait, which has a mesh collider?
It doesn't have one to start. When do we add a mesh collider? Mesh collider. Oh, there's where we add it. Okay, so we add it. So let's add it, and then additionally do. So this does this return the component? I don't trust it. Game object dot get component mesh collider dot convex equals true. Let's just see if this fixes anything. It's probably going to look terrible, but let's see if it actually makes it so that we can collide with the chosen terrain. Nope, it still didn't drop us.
That's unfortunate.
And our console says 216, so we should be underneath the... Huh.
A little bit strange.
Let's do one more thing. Project settings, script execution order. This might be the problem. We want to make sure that raycast drop happens at the last possible moment.
Oh, yes.
So that things that are generating things will be done generating things. Oh, we dropped! And actually, the blocks
okay,
stayed
that's
in their
really,
previous
really cool.
positions.
But
that's kind of funny.
Not what we want.
But at least it dropped. So now let's actually go back. Let's go back a couple. So generate height map. Let's get rid of the convex. See if it still works. It worked. We can tell because things are dropping. And then let's try with the ridiculous resolution and see if it still works. It did. All right, so we can use this as an option, so that's good. Although, wait, why is it... that doesn't look like it's ridiculous resolution. It also looks really convex still.
Well, still,
I didn't save
convex
this, evidently.
was clicked still.
Oh, we don't click it. Like,
Oh.
I evidently didn't hit save, so...
Oh, well, that can happen.
Okay, good. It still worked. We're happy. All right, so we're happy except for the block generation stuff. So what we want to do for that is... So, are we generating the blocks with parents properly? Maybe that's what's happening. Nope, we're not. The blocks are not parented to anything. So that's how we're going to fix that. So if we go into our spawn wall script... we create an instance, but we don't actually parent anything. So I'm going to make the parent be whatever spawned this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do instance.transform.parent equals game object. And so now, in theory, the whole thing should move down with the raycast call and everything should be happy. Can't convert game object, so we actually just want transform. Save. Hit play. Now we should be on our terrain. We are, and the blocks are there, that's great. And where did the opponent go? Oh, he's behind a wall.
That's funny.
He's behind something. Wait, why couldn't I see him?
Because the camera is not necessarily high enough.
Alright, let's make the cameras a little bit higher and better. So I'm going to position it forward a little bit more.
Yeah, good call.
Let's do 9 and up a little bit more. Let's do like 25, 24.
That might be too much.
22. Hit play.
Still can't see it.
Yeah, I can barely see over it. May have to make some more adjustments to the camera stuff in future episodes. Let's also see if the randomization actually works now. So, like, if we do generate height map with randomize on and hit play,
it should theoretically be more
look
random. Yeah,
there.
it is.
We've got one where it's taller, and then still doesn't look great, but we can work on making things look better now. And actually, it looks like there might actually be a point to the terrain. It's kind of wild. It's already proven to do something here, even though the positions are not even randomized yet. We have a case where terrain actually kind of gets in the way. So,
Yep.
So that's exciting, actually. That still works. Here, let's see what happens with the colliding against the terrain. Let's see if this thing will actually hit terrain. Why can't I move? Oh, that's force. How do I move left and right? Oh, there it is.
Left and right.
Yeah. Don't get smart with me. It does look like it's hitting with that thing. Huh.
Were we doing much ado about nothing with the terrain mesh?
I wanted it to be smaller in general, but I would have expected things to be working a lot worse than they currently are. So,
Yeah,
if I'd known they were going to work this well, I probably would have not spent that time. Fully admittedly.
Well, it's okay.
Oh, that one looks like it went through.
It's a good possibility that sometimes they could go through.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Well, we got part of the integration done. We need to clean it up. What I think we'll probably do next episode is so right now we're just using the center of these things, which is honestly okay. It's actually better looking than I thought it was going to. That was weird. One block is just like, yeah, I'm going to fall now.
Yeah, one block just had enough.
Can I focus on something that's not that? Thank you. So when it actually gets embedded in the ground like that, that actually looks pretty good. The one that I was worried about is if it gets on like a mountain,
peak.
like if we hit play enough, I'm sure we'll have a case where this happens.
Well, I think that one's very similar to that right over there.
All right, let's see. What I was thinking
Floating.
about doing was, see, it's floating off the sides. Well, we can fix, one of the ways you can visually fix that, which is going to sound really dumb, is we can actually have, like, beams coming down, like they're support beams, and then they'll just penetrate with the geometry, and it'll look like someone built a levee or something.
Yep.
Which probably is going to be what we'll do. The other option, of course, is to actually change the terrain in post, which is something that we also will probably do, but maybe not next episode. Next episode, the amount that we play with the terrain aspect will be dependent on how much time I have spent in the mines trying to get the collision stuff and other stuff working better. So we'll see how that actually turns out. So I'm going to hit save. Save project.
Pretty good.
Is there anything else that...
Nope.
Yeah.
No questions. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask.
Yep. Anyway, no, it's too late. Don't ask any questions. We're done.
I don't care. You can still ask questions.
Yep. Don't ask questions.
It's never too late
It's
for
over.
questions.
Never ask questions again.
That's
If you have any questions, please email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com. That's pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire. That's DRAKFYRE.
And you can send me an email if you really want to. It's philip@protosoftworks.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter, which is always a good time. That's at Magmalemur. That's at the little @ sign. And then MAGMALEMUR. Magmalemur. And you should donate to Cooking with Unity.
Yes, donate to Cooking with Unity. You get swag. I'll make more videos talking about swag at some point. I just don't have any swag to show off right now, so all sent off. So.
And this one time I did make a game that if you haven't played, you should
Oh
buy.
yes,
if you have
no,
an
buy
iOS
yes,
device.
buy Robot Alone. By the way, I was plugging you still on the episodes that you weren't here, just so you know.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
I know, but I did. So.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Sorry about the slow first half, but it happens sometimes. Sorry that it happened on the show so strongly, but at least you can see that problem solving is a process, and no one's perfect.
Is.
So, especially not us. So,
well, you can speak for yourself. No, I'm kidding.
Just
I'm
for
kidding.
Myself. Okay, yeah. Well, you saw how much trouble I had without Phil, and now you saw how much trouble I had with Phil here. So
Yeah.
now I can't use the excuse that he's just magic anymore. So
I am magic, though.
you are magic,
Most of the
just
time.
not the right magic that we need or something. I don't know. What's the Batman line? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Not the magic that you.
Thank you very
deserve, but
much,
the magic
and
that
you guys have a. We'll see you on Thursday with another episode of the 2D stuff,
Thursdays.
2D Thursdays stuff. Yeah,
To the Thursday.
to Thursday, Thursday. Yes, Thursday.
Yeah.
To Thursday.
Okay. Thanks for watching.